What is up, Broncos country? This is Jared, and I'm coming at you live. Man, I'm so amped up to talk about the Denver Broncos. All right, we have had a week. Wow. All right, so man, if you're a Denver Broncos fan and you're part of Broncos country, slap that screen, give me a like. Let's get the algorithm in my favor so we can reach out to more Broncos fans. That's right. Denver Broncos. That's what we're talking about today. And within the last week, we've had so much going on. And so I'm going to bring in my friend, Jeffrey Mark Brown. Bear with me here while I try to invite him. Give me just a moment. Oh, there we go. There we go. All right. So again, my name's Jared. I'm a Denver Broncos fan, a diehard Denver Broncos fan. In fact, I've been a Denver Broncos fan since I was back in kindergarten. All right. My dad was in the Air Force, and I was born in Aurora, Colorado. And so early in my childhood, my dad and my older brothers were all Denver Broncos fans. And so I watched the Denver Broncos when, as a kid, back when in 1977, there was the Orange Crush. All right. As a Gen X kid, that's what I started watching. Here we go. There's my friend Jeffrey Mark Brown, giving him an invite. And ever since, I've been continuing to be a Denver Broncos fan. Here's my friend here, Jeffrey Mark Brown. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Here we are. How are you, my friend?
Are we good? Are we good?
Yeah, we're good. Yeah.
It took me a minute or two, but
It is all good, my friend.
how we doing?
I'm doing great. Yeah, I'm doing great. Yeah, so, I good to see you too. So, as you already know, so my son and I,
I hear about it.
yeah, so we flew to Denver on Saturday, almost a week ago today. It was last Saturday, last weekend, and we flew to the Denver so we could see the Denver Broncos game, the Green Bay Packers versus the Denver Broncos, and it was awesome. All right, so I sat by a Green Bay Packers fan on the airplane from Salt Lake City to Denver. But she was so chill. She was chill, she was chill, and she actually did a selfie. She took her phone and we did a selfie with her because she wanted to show her fiance that she was sitting by a Broncos fan. Yeah. And we just had a hotel that was in Aurora, so it was near the airport. So it wasn't far away from, so we wouldn't have to go very far when we did have to leave, back to Salt Lake City. But anyway, so that nice hotel too. It was good, and, the amenities and, swimming pool and all these other things that my son likes when we're at the hotel. And yeah.
You have a breakfast?
Yeah, it was a breakfast. We had omelets, the sausage, bacon, waffles, all those things. Yeah. Even if you wanted oatmeal, you had oatmeal there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, was this planned or was this like a spur of the moment?
It's something we've planned. It was more or less part of my son's Christmas, as a present for Christmas. And we've been planning it for a little while. We went to, as I've already told you, we went to the Broncos game back in January earlier this year, but it was when they played the Chiefs, and back in last season, it was the last game of the season. So they had already reached the playoffs, the first seed. And so they were they were playing, they were just playing their backups, sort of.
They had the JV team.
Exactly. But nonetheless, I mean, it was like Travis Kelce wasn't playing, Patrick Mahomes, but most of the starters were playing, but the all-stars, if you know what I mean. Chris Jones. But, I mean, Carson Wentz was the quarterback, and Carson Wentz even started for the Vikings this season, and he's been a starting quarterback for the Eagles. So Carson Wentz, still is a serviceable quarterback, but anyway, I digress. It was a great game. The Broncos obviously won 38-0, and we had such a great vacation. My wife came with us. It wasn't just the two of us. We had a little bit of a more of an extended time when we did that trip, and we did a stadium tour and everything. It was nice. Anyway, so because we had such a great time, we thought, well, let's see if we can kind of make it work so that we can, have my son go in an hour. Yeah. It's about an hour flight. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's not bad at all. And so my wife loves Disneyland. Okay. And so she went to Disneyland with her sister about 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago. And that's like her premium sort of vacation. She loves to go to California and go to Disneyland. And so she thought, okay, if I'm going to Disneyland with my sister, then I'm going to see if I can make it work that you and Bronco, your son, I'm going to make sure that the two of us can go, and so that's what we did is we just kind of split up the vacations this year.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Heck of a game to watch.
It was a great game, and oh my gosh. And to see it live was just so electric. It was so freaking loud at Empower Field at Mile.
That's what, crowd. That's what they're saying. It was like, that's like the loudest it's been. And
and there were about 75,555 people. And, so basically there were about 500 some odd people that didn't come. And so my only guess is why would you not come and not sell your tickets? So maybe they were corporate owned or something, something like that. But it was
there were a decent number of Green Bay.
Oh yeah. There were some Green Bay fans there. In fact, in front of me, there were a couple Green Bay fans, and we made it really loud when the Broncos, made some sort of play or what have you. And, so at the beginning of the game, it didn't necessarily, I mean, it went well, but then all of a sudden RJ Harvey fumbled. And after having seen the replay, I really don't think it was his fault necessarily. I don't think he was holding it loosely.
No, I think it seemed like it was just a really good defensive play.
Exactly. Right. So I don't know that I'm not going to fault him necessarily, but it's not a bad thing that it happened because now, even though it wasn't his fault, he's, in my opinion, going to be really careful holding the real well now. Yeah. But anyway, so that happened and we're like, oh, wow. All right. And so, and all of a sudden the Packers just had really momentum at the beginning of the game. And they were
moving the ball.
Jordan Love was moving the ball, passing it to whichever receiver he wanted, whomever. And it was a little concerning, but then the Broncos answered because they were only allowing field goals initially. And you know what I mean? Right. So
getting them in the red zone, the first 2 drives, they kicked 2 field goals, 6-0, and then Denver touchdown, boom.
Right. And the Broncos were scoring touchdowns, so it wasn't too bad because I felt like the Broncos defense was still making some plays. And then the offense was scoring touchdowns instead of taking field goals. And by the way, it was really weird to see Brandon McManus kicking field goals at Empower Field at Mile High and change line.
Pick one, Brandon.
I know, it's a little blasphemous. It's just weird.
Yeah, he was true on every one of them. Yeah. So no, the first half, so it was 16-14 at the half. They got a field goal near the end, and second half started, and it was a little dicey there for a bit.
It really was. Yeah, it was. And and the game, especially in the second half, It made me very concerned because the Packers really answered in the second half. You know what I mean? And it was very concerning. But the thing is that what happened? What happened?
It just takes one play, and the momentum of a game can completely switch like that.
Oh my God.
I'm talking about PS.
That's right. We're talking about Patrick Surtain. All right. So,
Offensive Player of the Year.
the reigning Defensive Player of the Year, DPOY. All right. The Packers they must have been thinking, Mike LaFleur must have been thinking, oh man, we've got him on the ropes, to use a boxing sort of. Right. But let's go for the knockout. All right. But guess what? When you go for the knockout punch, you better be ready for a knockout punch from us. And that's what happened is Patrick Surtain, he looked like a wide receiver diving for that ball. It was unreal. It was the most amazing defensive interception I've ever seen. I mean, that alone, all right, changed the whole game. It was pivotal. It really was pivotal. So game changing.
Yeah.
So game changing.
The offense got the ball, took it down, scored. And so instead of being down by, oh my gosh, how many? If they had scored now.
Oh my gosh, that would have been almost 3 scores at that point. Right.
No, that was just game changing right there.
Game changing. And the momentum was swinging in the Broncos' favor. And momentum, I'm a big believer of momentum because when you have the momentum on your side, there's a little bit of a confidence thing where you can just feel it. Hey, man, things are going as well. Yeah. And things were just moving in the Broncos' favor. All of a sudden, the defense started to stiffen up.
Vance made some adjustments after that.
Yeah, stiffen up. And then we started to see more sacks happen. Nick Bonito had a sack. Casa Bonito. Yeah, and Sack Allen was quarterback pressuring. I can't remember whether he had a sack or not. I don't think so, but he was pressuring the quarterback. Yeah. Great pressure they were putting on Jordan Love. And then the Broncos just continued to answer. And man, it was electric. Oh my gosh. Probably, in my humble opinion, the best game that Bo Big. All right, I won't say it live. Bo Nix, probably, in my opinion, the best game I've ever witnessed him play. It was the best professional game by Bo Nix I've ever seen. He was on.
Amazing how his game is the last.
He's leveling up. He is. It's like a video game where he's leveling.
Bye week, and now he's back. He's total control, and he's just spreading it out. I mean, little Jordan Humphrey, Bandy, a touchdown.
Oh my gosh, Michael Bandy, that pass to Michael Bandy. Bo Nix was scrambling to the left. And as he was on the run, his eyes were constantly down the field. His eyes were always looking for a receiver while he was running and saw Michael Bandy on a mesh route going across and pass to him. And he was wide open. And we all know Michael Bandy, that was his first touchdown as a pro.
He's been around for a little while. Squad up.
Back and forth on the practice squad. Man, it was good to see him get that touchdown. Yeah. And they kept the ball for him. Cortland.
Bo and Court. They managed to get the ball back and got it to him. Yeah, that was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That was awesome.
That was awesome. It really was.
No, but that's a true sign of a great quarterback, how he's able to elevate the guys around him, Like
absolutely.
Little Jordan Humphrey and Michael Bandy, they're not.
I know. They're not household name.
Exactly, but he's getting them the ball and they're scoring, So that's amazing. That's really, because you're going to need that,
Absolutely.
So defense can't just focus on one guy.
Cortland Sutton, as an example, in some teams, they'll say, okay, we're going to double cover Court, and if you do, all right, fine, pick your poison. If you're going to double cover Cortland, then Troy Franklin's going to be open.
Troy had a good game.
He did. Troy Franklin had arguably his best game as a pro. I mean, he was catching everything. I didn't see him this
For
more.
him, that's the key for him, because he'll always have kind of a little drop or two here and there, but he was clutch.
He was. He caught.
Touchdown grab was really nice.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that was awesome. Right in the middle of the field. Bo Nix, I'm serious. That play to Troy Franklin. All right. It was unbelievable because he went on it looked like maybe like a skinny post, and he threw it right over the defensive player, right over him, and put it exactly in the spot where only Troy Franklin can get her. It was spot on.
He was feeling it. No, that's encouraging, and that's
It was
to get excited about if you're a Bronco fan.
absolutely 4 touchdown passes, 302 passing yards by Bo Nix. I know the completion percentage, I think, was at least maybe, I think it was at least 78, maybe 80%. His completion percentage was right on. Just an outstanding day. I mean, again, the Green Bay Packers were disrespectfully favored by like 2.5 points.
When are they going to learn?
I know.
When are they going to learn? Like a couple of weeks ago, same thing against the Chiefs.
It was, yeah.
We're underdog. We're the overdog.
That's what Bo Nix said. Bo Nix overdog. He was interviewed and they asked him about that. And yeah, you're right. He said, no, we're the overdogs. You're right. Yeah. That was funny.
Someone made the t-shirts on them. So
yeah, Bo, it was, I don't know if it was, Bo Nix himself or maybe anyway, I hear all of the funds from selling the t-shirts that read overdogs or whatever go to a charity. So it's a really good cause, right? It's really cool.
Yeah, so no. It was a big W.
Big W. Big W. It was nice to see the defense get much more involved in the second half. Vance Joseph must have made some adjustments, starting putting pressure. And it was really interesting to hear also Sean Payton. When Sean Payton was interviewed, he had stated that he had gone over to the offense, Bo Nix and everybody over on the offensive side. And he said, look at their defense. He says, they're gassed, right? And he had attributed that to 5,280 feet, the elevation. And it's real. The elevation is real. Yeah, it's a great advantage. They were gassed and they kept on, they blitzed, pedal to the metal, and the offense started just continuing to drive the ball. The time of possession was more in our favor and the Broncos' favor as the game went along. Right.
Our two respective lines just imposed their will.
Absolutely. Yeah, they were.
That's a trademark of a Sean Payton team. The O-line, the D-line, he built that, and then from the outwards, and it's incredible.
It was. Now it was really a shame to see Micah Parsons get injured. I love his passion.
You knew right away. That non-contact. You knew right away it was ACL.
Right. It's really too bad to see that because I see him just work really hard. He's relentless. His competitor, and what I did like to see is that after the game, Patrick Surtain actually went over to Micah Parsons.
Yeah, no, they're good friends. Same draft year, and
it was really good to see that. Very classy of PS2 to do that.
Yeah, no, for sure. So, unfortunately, that's football, I guess.
Yes, it is. It does happen. I'll be interested to see how it affects their team and how they make adjustments to continue to play and how effective their pass rush will be later on. But we all know Brandon Jones got injured as well, unfortunately. But we have a guy who stepped into his place who has starter experience already, PJ Locke. In 2023, so 2023, he stepped in the role. And then in 2024, most of 2024,
he was a starter. Yeah.
So he has starter experience already. And so I really think strongly they're going to continue to use him. I know in online, I've read articles and blogs, and people are asking, should we bring Justin Simmons back because he's a free agent while PJ Locke is trying to get healthy again, because hopefully it's only going to be about 4 weeks on the injured reserve. Now,
feel good about that.
I love Justin Simmons. He's an all-time Bronco in my opinion, and I think he's going to be known. Hopefully one day he's going to be in the Ring of Fame. But I think it's best just to continue to roll with PJ Locke. He already has starter experience. He played well after Brandon Jones was injured against the Packers. We didn't skip a beat. And you can always bring in Jahdae Barron, like in nickel and dime coverage.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
To give help.
Yeah, he might get a little bit of play there too. So
right, if you need help, they'll go into nickel and dime coverages where Jahdae Barron will be in the coverage areas as well.
You can see that as well too. So
absolutely,
BJ will have something cooked up, I think.
Yeah, I think PJ will continue to play well. I'm a big proponent. Big PJ Locke.
Pumped and ready to go. So big loss for sure without Jones. Him and God, I can't pronounce his name. Falunga.
Oh yeah, Helenoa Hufunga.
There you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, they made a great safety pair. So
absolutely, yeah. Helenoa, I love that dude. He's like the Tasmanian devil. He's always going at top speed, fifth gear. He's always going as fast as he can.
What a great
he is. What a great free agent pickup. Yeah. In fact, Dre Greenlaw has also played well since he's come back. And
did you see the little pregame?
Oh my gosh, yeah, I did see that. I love it. Yeah, I didn't see it before the game, but because where I was at, they weren't showing it on the big screen. So I didn't see it. I didn't see it until after the game when I saw highlights of the game. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just seeing it on social media just before the game there, and
yeah,
Dre was getting hit with like 5 dudes on green.
Right. Yeah. And the other thing I liked is that Dre Greenlaw had a hit on Josh Jacobs. Do you remember this hit? It was so hard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think it was on a third down as well. I'll have to make sure, but it was such a hard hit. And it was totally clean too, right in the numbers and everything. It made him go backwards.
Yeah, no. Those are two warriors going at it.
Yeah.
He's a beast, Jacobs. Wow.
Yeah, Dre Greenlaw is a hard hitter. He helps the Broncos against the run. He's got attitude and that love his play. He's a dog. Yeah.
He is. So Jacksonville on Sunday,
and the Jaguars are playing pretty good ball right now. So I think it's going to be a very good test. And the really cool thing is, the interesting thing is the Jacksonville Jaguars defense is rated number 1 against the rush. So they do have a good rush defense. And so it'll be interesting to see how Sean Payton kind of, puts together a good game plan for this, because I don't think he's going to abandon the run per se, but I think he's going to try to be creative, maybe do some counters, maybe do some things that will do misdirection, whether it's a counter or a wham play, but doing some sort of misdirection, and then using some putting RJ Harvey out on a swing route or a wheel route, which is kind of in some ways an extension to the run. When it's a pass, it's a short pass.
Yeah, exactly. Mims as well.
Right, Mims.
You got a few more touches last week.
He did. Oh man, he's electric too.
He's gonna break one.
He is
gonna break one eventually.
Absolutely, man. I'm looking forward to the rest of the season. The Jaguars are going to be a good test. They do have some good players. Of course, Trevor Lawrence is having a very good season.
Been a very good last 4 or 5 weeks.
The concern that I have with him is that he is a little bit mobile, but the Broncos have been able to contain mobile quarterbacks. Jalen Hurts. They've been able to contain Patrick Mahomes. They've been able to contain Mariota. You know, there have been a lot of mobile quarterbacks the Broncos have already played against this season, and the defense has come to play with and VJ, Vance Joseph, has put together really good game plans for those type of quarterbacks. So I think the Broncos defense will be able to put some pressure on him. And if he does, and he's under duress, we'll find out, you know, how he handles that, whether he'll throw some picks or if the Broncos will just simply get some sacks, or if he'll get a strip sort of fumble. That would be awesome if that happened. But I'll be excited to see how the defense plays against Trevor Lawrence. I'm looking forward to some really good things.
I am too as well. No, another week to just take care of business.
Yeah, another week to take care of business, and to prove all of the haters wrong, because you know, it's almost working in Sean Payton's favor, because the Denver Broncos and Sean Payton, they're playing with it's us against the world mentality. And I love it, because he actually prefers it that way. I really think so, because he doesn't want them to think that they're just going to roll over everybody. He'd rather have them have these gritty battles and have the Broncos feel as though people are disrespecting them, that they don't get enough credit, because that way he's going to put more fuel on the fire to let them know that they have a chip on their shoulder. And I think he loves that. I think the Broncos, yeah. And the Broncos don't mind it, because then they're just going to have that sort of mentality. We don't care, and we're going to prove you wrong. And so every week, haven't they just been proving everybody wrong, my friend? 12-2. It's just, if you would have told me early on in the season, okay, when they were 2-2.
They were 1-2 at one point.
1-2, okay, that they would go on and have a 11-game winning streak. Okay, I would have. It's not that I wouldn't believe you, but I would have thought it's a little dubious. It would have been a little doubtful, right? But wow,
Tough league to win.
it is. It's a tough league, and there's some good teams the Broncos have played. They've played the Eagles. They've played the Chiefs. They've played against the Packers, and everybody thought, okay, this is the week that the Packers defense gets to show, you know, that they can win at Empower Field at Mile High at Denver. Well, it didn't happen, and they've beaten some good teams. So I don't know how the narrative is going to change. Maybe they'll continue to move the goalposts and say, well, they beat a Packers team after Micah Parsons got injured, and after the Christian Watson got injured. You know, they always seem to change the narrative every time the Broncos win against a good team. But that's all right. That's okay.
It's fine. So RJ Harvey is expected to play. He hurt his ribs, but he should be good to go. I believe Ben Powers looks to be reactivated.
Yes, and that seems to be on time with him to be on game day with the Broncos. So I'm looking forward to Ben Magical Powers back to the lineup. Yeah.
So expect him back in. So that will be that's going to be nice. And we signed a running back, Cody Schrader.
Yes.
Expect to see him perhaps in the lineup.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they do add him.
I believe, from what I've been hearing, that he will be the third down.
All right. Maybe instead of a day or something. Interesting.
That's what I've been hearing. Yeah.
Okay.
And I suppose this is a guy that they've had their eyes on for a while.
Right.
No, they wanted to sign him